And we are back for round 5. Dayton Magic Club website.com presents Friday Night Magic at the Game Haven, where you do what?
Get more for your games.
You do get more for your games here at Game Haven. We're in Riverside, Ohio. Round 5 of 5. Friday Night Magic. Here's the situation. Is Christopher Stipp and Mason Perry, who we saw win last round. They have to play it out because Mason has a draw, so he cannot afford to draw again. Chris Stipp has declined to play on camera, which is fine. He usually does. So we're not going to be able to bring you that match. We can tell you that Stipp is playing mono blue and has been having a really good night with it. It's the only mono blue deck in the room that I'm aware of, and it is undefeated versus mono black devotion. It's kind of the two boogeymen of the format at the moment. So we are bringing you table 2. Because table 1 has to play it out, one of these players could very well be playing for second place. So $40 to second place, $70 to $1 to first place is what we're playing for right now. I am Ryan Johnson. We have many people in the booth right now. Let's run down the gamut. We have
Zach Weasel.
We have
Mike Waters. Jacob Ross.
And special guest first-time Magic event commentator.
Caitlin Bauer.
Fantastic. So, Tom, I believe, is on the play. Both players are mulliganing. Kyle McDaniel, we've seen him on camera playing his goofy, deep in the Brewers pit, Kyle McDaniel, red, Zerta Ancient.
If Kyle ever played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, he'd be the Goofy Foot.
He'd skate Goofy Foot. I agree with that.
I'm going to make a bold statement that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 is the best PlayStation 2 game I've ever watched.
That's a strong statement. It's also a pretty good Dreamcast game. So
also,
for the 11 people that
video
have
game soundtrack ever.
It was really good. Yeah. But I don't know what Tom's playing. Anyone know? Anyone scout him out?
He's playing Blue Light Control.
Okay. We saw Blue Light Control earlier. It looked pretty good on camera. Then get just humped by a Colonian Hydra. So that'll happen.
Yeah.
So this is kind of similar to the match we saw on camera, which is big green creatures on one side, Blue Light Control on the other.
I feel like it's going to play out very similarly, where the guy with the green or the aggressive deck is really just going to try and eat the counter spells until they can play an unanswered threat, and the unanswered threat's just going to carry the game away.
I think that's a very good way to look at it. Kyle does have Zerta Ancient against a Sphinx's Revelation deck, so
which would be awesome.
In a stunning piece of technology.
It's potential Tom could get the Mirari's Wake to himself and then kill the 7/5 of like anything.
Now here's the thing: Zerta Ancient also makes you take damage when you tap lands.
Right.
So if he doesn't have the Sphinx's Revelation, it's actually a pretty good anti-control card, because if they do have to wrath it off the board, they have to take damage to do it. So we'll see how that plays out. We're seeing a Mountain from Kyle, which is interesting. Probably not his preferred start. Tom's just going to try to make his land drops, hit his Wrath of Gods, hit his Sphinx's Revelations, whatever. May I have this? Oh. What about this one?
Gonna run them out.
And then no follow-up?
I think we may have, yeah.
Okay.
Or something.
No, he's just cycling a Azurius Charm.
Draw a card.
So, Tom, under the gun a little bit, but this control deck is powerful enough to beat 2/2/2s. That's not
fair. Yeah. Oh, yeah, these here would be.
These here would be pretty good. So he's got Tension Spear, he's got Supreme Verdict, he's got all kinds of goofy divination.
I don't think you're worried about the first 4 damage. I think you're worried about what comes the next turn.
And if he knows what Kyle's playing, which he may, he knows that, and there's Kyle dropping cards all over the floor like a professional Magic the Gathering player. He knows that Kyle doesn't have any real reach. It's just all dudes, so he can afford to take a couple of hits. Kyle serves in defiantly. Time down to 16.
Was it defiantly like a pun?
Yes.
Okay. I was making sure. Trying to keep up.
If you don't remember that Kyle McDaniels is playing Clan Defiance.
He's playing Clan Defiance, which I'd love to see him untap with his Zerta Ancient and play, and then Clan Defiance. It'd be so good. So, we talked about this when we saw Blue White Control last time, that they often play Mutavault, and here we see it. And it's going to actually be fairly... he plays a couple Mutavaults, and they're actually pretty good. in this kind of situation, where as long as he just keeps divinating,
That's a
that
Witch
is a
Stalker.
Witch Stalker. That's a good one. It's no Skylasher.
It's not gonna
Running
stick
to a
around.
dissipate or
Dissolve, yeah.
Same thing.
Pile of goo.
Except this one gets to sweetly scry, which is awesome. So, Tom doing pretty good. Kyle not putting out the kind of pressure that is putting Tom under real danger. He has a lot of really powerful outs to this kind of situation, and one of them is Jace. If he only has 2/2/2s, Jace can really gum that up as an aggro plan. So there's a fourth land from Kyle. He says, "May I have a Xenagos?"
Yeah,
My
I don't
guess
think
is
that's
no.
good.
Nah.
I feel like Tom has a pretty good finger on what Kyle's trying to do. I mean, that's probably why we haven't seen a very good answer to the.
That's an aggressive block,
That was
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah. Usually,
and we just lost all focus because of that block.
The
something
camera
happened.
is confused.
Yeah, something real bad is happening with our camera, but we'll just kind of power through it. There
Oh,
it
there
goes.
we go.
Okay.
Played another mute block.
Okay, these are aggressive blocks.
Yeah, it's strange. When you're playing blue-white control, you want like your 8th, 9th, 10th.
Yeah.
So
He is wanting to keep his. He's decided that 10 is the life total that he doesn't want to go below.
Yeah.
What is that? Tom has to read it, whatever it is, and
It's
I don't know what it is.
Polukranos.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, it turns out.
Eating worlds.
Eating some worlds.
So, I guess Tom has plenty of land in his hand, but still, like, he wants to start setting up Sphinx's Revelation at this point in the game, and he's going to take a big hit here.
Ooh.
Yeah, he needs a removal spell. We've seen a couple counter spells and some card draw. We haven't seen any real
Gonna
action.
rev for 2.
Rep for 2.
He's really digging there. I hope he top decks what he needs.
Zurius Charm. There's a lot of things. That's actually an Elspeth, so he's in good shape. Elspeth can.
blockers.
Elspeth. Well, she can minus and wrath away the Pulchernose.
Oh, hopefully he has that land.
He does. He has a
He
plains in his hand. Except it's an ugly whiteboard to
Yeah,
play, so
that's
it
why,
doesn't make
yeah.
any mana.
Is that a revised dual land? I don't
He actually nets a -1 mana.
So, I think if we don't, barring any other answer, I think we're going to see Elspeth here, and possibly wrathing away that Pulchernose. Let's see what he's got. Looks like that is what we have. He may have been checking to see if it had trample. That's maybe why he picked it up and read it, because he might be making dudes here. So, no. I like that play better because you don't want him to monstrous it and just absolutely wipe you out.
That's
And then
pretty
there's
impressive.
Burning Tree Emissary into Pulchernose.
Kyle, no shortage of powerful threats.
You really need a Supreme Verdict
Yeah.
here is really the rip you need.
Supreme Verdict into post-verdict +1 Elspeth is going to go a long way to getting you back into this game.
Oh, he got it. Make some dudes.
So, that's we've seen, the blue-white controller just wants to get to the point where it's really powerful. It's probably the most powerful effects in the game right now can come online, and that's what we're starting to see here. Unchecked, Elspeth can just completely take over this game. Because once she gets back up into Wrath mode, like, all of Kyle's guys just die. Make more men. The fact that Elspeth is insane. That card is really good.
She is my favorite.
Yeah. What do we got? Sphinxes, yeah. Kyle has seen enough. I do not blame him. Once Elspeth just starts ticking up, the game is we're pretty much out of reach. You need like an immediate Pulchernose. So, Kyle sideboarding. We don't really know exactly what he has. What would you want if you're in green-red to shore up your matchup against blue-white control, which probably is not a great matchup?
I guess
I think Destructive Revelry.
He's showing us what he's bringing.
Oh.
He brings in Planeswalkers.
I think it's Stormbright Dragons. Stormbright Dragon seems really good.
Yeah.
You can't Azurius Charm it. It demands a Wrath on its own. Its monstrous ability is potentially very powerful. You can't chain into the rocks, which is
No
relevant
detention
here.
sphere.
But yeah, that seems like a really good card here. So thank you, Kyle, for showing us what you're boarding there. And you have a lot of standard stuff if you're Tom.
He's bringing in looks like some Pithing Needles, maybe?
Looks like he's definitely thinking about Needle. It's fine for Pulchernose. It's fine he saw Xenagos.
There's lots of
So he
activated
knows there's
abilities.
Planeswalkers. That seems fine. Ratchet Bomb probably not exactly where you want to be in this particular matchup. I see him looking at a Ratchet Bomb, but Kyle's guys are a varied mana cost. Doesn't play many tokens, and a lot of them are real big. So, what else does he have in there? If you don't have the full 4 Wraths in the main deck, you bring them in, but I'm sure he probably has them in the main deck. That's one of the big appeals to playing this archetype right now. And
Potentially, if you have any Cyclonic Rifts, those would be a good.
Cyclonic Rift is so awesome.
It's such a good
That
card.
card is crazy. We didn't get to see it blow anybody out tonight, but last time we did coverage, it was
How
absurd.
good would Upheaval be? Right now?
Upheaval would be very good.
Was Nick those?
Said float a bunch of mana. Upheaval.
That's what Tinker did in Extended.
Yep.
It was just float all the color mana, Upheaval, and just like replay it.
Yep. Oh man, Uzi was a fun deck too. That was a fun Upheaval deck.
What was?
Upheaval Zombie Infestation. Uzi.
I love
Yeah.
Zombie Infestation. That's probably one of my favorite
You
cards.
just Upheaval and you make like 5 2/2s and see if your opponent can catch back up. Seems fine.
Yeah, I guess.
Tom on the play. And
Tom's on the play.
He's on
I'm
the
sorry.
option.
Should be on the option.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
Kyle will
Kyle,
be on the
yeah.
play is what I meant
MC
to say.
Kyle.
I
Yeah.
apologize.
MC Kyle.
MC Kyle in the house and on the play.
Spinning the mad beats.
Absolutely.
Is,
Wiggle
is something I'm
I'm sure that he
You
does.
Spin
It is-
mad beats? I don't know.
I'm not a DJ scientist, but I'm assuming that's pretty much how it works.
Kyle's an MC,
Well,
which is a rank higher than DJ.
that's a good
I'm
point.
sure.
In the complicated hierarchy of DJ culture, I'm sure that's probably true.
I learned in elementary school that the difference between a DJ and an MC is that the DJ uses turntables and MCs don't.
I did not
I
know
think
that.
that's a low. I think I was lied to.
That's very possible. So Kyle wants to go turn 1 mana guy, turn 2, blow you out with.
Coop hand.
Yeah.
Burning Tree Emissaries.
And the thing about that is, that's a great start. But Kyle, in order to accelerate his mana and build up the kind of board position he needs to race Sphinx's Revelation, has to play really heavily into Supreme Verdict.
Yeah.
Because all of his mana comes from putting men on the table. He doesn't have Farseeks or anything like that.
Mhm.
So that's an interesting kind of tension that the blue-white deck is pretty good at exploiting. The Wrath of God effect, just really good against devotion decks in general, and Kyle kind of being an innocent bystander in that struggle.
I
Let's
feel
see what
like
we got.
his Planeswalkers could be very good in this matchup.
I agree. Xenagos is a pretty good Magic card. It's good at pressuring the control decks. They really need the Detention Sphere for it. It gets out of hand very quickly. Kyle scries one to the bottom.
Get out of here.
Tapped land. Oh, what do you got, Kyle? Show us something sweet. No.
Man.
Okay. So another option for Kyle is instead of trying to get pressure on the board immediately, is to clutch out on your resilient threats and just kind of run them out there one at a time. They each do a couple points of damage until your opponent's dead. Like, that is certainly a line.
I mean, Polychronos only costs 4, so
Yeah.
just play 1, swing with it, see if it sticks.
Yeah, I like Witchstalker actually kind of a lot here because one of the best tools in the blue-white control decks arsenal against these mid-range decks is Azuria's Charm.
Yeah.
Put your expensive, unimpressive mid-rangey threat back on top, make you draw it again, and Witchstalker can just attack without fear. If that was like a Gnarled Mass, like, that attack is like really sketchy because you want to draw a Gnarled Mass on turn 4, like, that's awful.
Right.
But Witchstalker can just get in there and lightning
Yeah.
bolt.
Jace.
Jace?
Architect of Thought.
Jace Sacrifice.
Yep. Jace just to draw a card.
Takes the Jace instead of the lands.
Yeah, I was going to say Jace -2 makes me think he's Landlight, but then he didn't take the land.
Yeah.
So maybe the other Jace is just too good as a fog.
Right. That could be.
Suit it up. Also a very powerful effect in these control
Boom.
decks.
That's ideal because not only could Kyle didn't have to dedicate the whole attack.
Yeah.
Going to, so.
And can actually, man, Boon Satyr is a really powerful way to beat all of the control. Like, they can wrath you and still be under in a 3-turn clock.
Right.
That is a really powerful situation that we saw back in Innistrad with Undying Creatures, where
Right.
like zombies pretty much pushed the control decks out of the format because you could mutilate or wrath and then actually end up being under more pressure than you were before.
Yeah.
Detention Sphere is not a bad answer to that Elvish Mystic suited up.
That is true.
Get a Boonsader.
I don't know if that's the split I would have picked. What is that card on the bottom?
Is that
I
a
think it's-
Last Breath?
Or Celestial
It's
Flare.
just Celestial
Celestial Flare. You're
Um,
absolutely right.
I mean, I probably wouldn't have split the cards like that. I think Detention Sphere is probably the better pick if you can
Yeah.
live till next turn. I mean,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you want to split the two removal spells up, for sure. But it's like, which one do you want to give him a free card on? And I agree that maybe it's a Celestial Flare.
Taking a bunch of damage.
It's worth pointing out, of course, that if he Celestial Flares you, you have the option of. I mean, like what? Yeah, how good is Celestial Flare against you right now?
not fantastic.
Right, like you just have it eat the.
And I think that's a Clan Defiance for.
Oh,
The W.
the Clan Defiance. We talked about it, and there it is, finally on camera.
It finally happened.
It's a sweet
So
one.
quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a sweet one.
Yeah, if Kyle's gonna win, it's gotta be fast.
Yeah.
Like, it has
Well,
to.
again, it's that tension, but I think the correct way to play it is they don't have the Supreme Verdict, right? You just got to
Right,
poke it
yeah.
up because they're gonna draw the Sphinx Revelation and put you out of the game given enough time.
Anyway, yeah.
So you just say they're not going to Supreme Verdict me on turn 4 because I can't beat that no matter what I do. So here we go. They
Yeah.
don't have it. I'm just going to pressure them. So and Boon Satyr is just crazy good.
Yep.
In this
Yeah,
matchup.
that's
I mean, it's a good
exactly what
Magic
you
card
want
in
to see.
general, but it's very good here.
Right.
You almost always want to bestow it. I mean, obviously, but
Well, yeah.
flashing in a turn if that's where your mana is not bad either to kill a planeswalker. Whatever it takes. So it's all about just getting packets of damage in, and then the last threat kills them before Sphinx's Revelation makes that impossible. I think that's the line here. So we got Tom going back to the sideboard. Didn't like something that he saw there. And I'm wondering if he's bringing in something to do with bestow. Maybe he's bringing back in a counterspell that he cut,
That could be.
like something like that, bringing it back in a negate or whatever people play. I'm not a control player.
It was
Bring in a mana leak or something.
It's
I don't
possible
know.
you saw that
Forcible.
Clan Defiance. And
That's possible that he's bringing.
Arcane Denial.
Remand. But yeah, the Clan Defiance or the Bestow, I think, are the two things that he saw that game that he
Right.
hadn't seen yet that he may want to adjust his sideboard for.
Yeah.
Although it seems pretty likely that he may have put him on Boon Sato. That's pretty common. Clan Defiance is not.
Not, yeah.
So bringing something in to deal with a fireball that just killed you is not unreasonable.
That's a good argument to bring it.
Yeah. Negate's a powerful Magic card. And having access to negate and Essence Scatter is a pretty powerful combo. We saw main deck Essence Scatter do a lot of work. We have the Sixfer. We have the Sixfer. You gonna come join us over here for a minute? Well, all right.
Inappropriate gesture.
That is we got
Zach Dender.
Zach Denger here in the booth for a moment, showing
Passing
off some
back.
sweet swag.
Passing back some borrowed cards, I think.
Giving up
Thanks,
free
sir.
call seasons.
Free thought seasons for everybody.
What a
Woo!
guy.
See, sometimes you feel underappreciated here in the coverage booth. You don't get to play Magic, whatever, but then you just get handed a stack of thought seasons.
I mean, I just got
Everything's all
handed like $100 worth of cards. I'm
right.
okay with that.
That's all right. It's all right. It's more than first place is planned for.
You got a lot of hands later.
Yes.
Game.
Hey, since we got so many people in here, Jacob, have a good night. Would you mind maybe sticking your head out there and just getting if we have an update on
Yeah,
the first place table,
On
see
Mason and-
if anyone's up a game
Yeah.
or anything like that. And that way we can report to you guys. And here at the local level, sometimes people just don't want to play on camera, and that's absolutely fine. No one's under any obligation to. It's totally a very casual experience. So we try to make it fun and positive for everybody. So, and we got a pretty sweet game here at table 2, so I'm pretty excited. We're bringing this to you.
Chris Stiff won.
Chris did one already.
Yeah, he won 2.
Okay, that was nice and quick. So that is undefeated for mono blue.
He has a lot, right?
No, it is undefeated.
Oh, that's right. He's 5-0.
Yeah, 5-0 with Mono Blue Devotion here tonight. Won the whole tournament. So now we're going to see, with him winning it, that means the person that wins this has a very good chance of second place.
Right. Yeah.
So back to the game as it is. What?
Turn 1 Yoke Docs.
Oh, wow.
Yoke Talks is really good.
It's a 0.
I mean, no, it's not. It's horrible, but I mean, like in these kind of
In this,
matchups,
yeah.
it's potentially very
Yeah.
powerful.
It is
That's a
a
dummy rat.
what's that blue card? That's pretty much Yoke Dogs.
Kraken Hatchling.
Kraken hatchling for white.
So, you know, he took a lot of damage that last game from a 3/3. And
Mhm.
Yoke Dogs is a very good way to stop that from happening.
I wonder if that's the card
Ooh, a
that.
Mistcutter Hydra right on top.
Incoming Hydra.
I will draw this Mistcutter Hydra. Mistcutter Hydra is really good.
Let's see if you can up his devotion this next turn.
Yeah,
that'll
another
be
Burning Tree Emissary, and that Mistcutter Hydra will get really scary next turn.
Yeah.
But it didn't have it. You obviously don't want to play the Mistcutter Hydra until it can brawl through that Yoke Dogs, if you can possibly avoid it. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 devotion. What is that?
Xanagos.
All right, making many, many planeswalkers. So you can make a token here, attack for and get 2 damage through, and then fight afterwards to kill the Yoke Dogs. Like you have some options
Yeah,
here.
I like that.
Domri's been really, really powerful on camera tonight. I've been really impressed with him. Yeah, that is the line here that Kyle is
I'm
taking.
not sure how Tom's going to get out of this one.
This is a good start. He has 2 different planeswalkers, so the Tension Sphere is not an answer
Yeah.
to the planeswalker threat. He has a potential for really explosive mana out of that Nykthos anytime he needs it. He's already up to let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, nets mana at this point in its game. So let's see. So the question is, do you block? If you don't, the Yoke Dogs is not doing anything. If you do, you're trading your Yoke Dogs off immediate for his own reactivation.
Well, if you're not blocking, you're attacking. So
Right.
he's going to attack with the Yoke.
It's
Well,
running the
I think
no
you have
attacks,
to
no
block,
blocks.
right?
I think you have to block.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
what else is it going to do?
It's a 1 mana investment for how much is he going to sink into killing this Yoke Dogs? It's going
Right.
to be he's going to take a.
You're
creature.
trading it for a dome reactivation in 2
Yep.
life. So potentially a card in 2 life.
Yeah,
Yep,
you,
and that's
you have
fine.
to block.
I think
for sure.
that's a block.
Yeah. It's just it's interesting how, you know, that Yoke Dogs could have actually bricked off a 3-power attacker potentially all game.
Right.
And instead, Kyle just draws like a pretty running, powerful set of planeswalkers and manages to clear that off the board. And
We're going to see a Mutavault into Domri, which is not a bad line.
nope.
It's interesting to see if he left a counter spell.
I see he does have a Supreme Verdict in hand, which will be good next turn, especially if
If he gets double white,
he does need an additional white.
does he have white in hand? I'm not sure he does. Kyle makes his land drop.
Oh, that'll be frustrating.
Yes, especially when you have Mutavault and you immediately get punished. So Kyle showing no fear of Azurius Charm.
Go Mystic.
Mystic gets in the zone. Man, Xenagos is proving to be, I think, a really powerful threat against his blue-white control deck. Plus, it like, in combination with Nykthos here, can make a lot of mana if he ever draws the Pulchronos or whatever.
Detention Sphere off the top.
What does Xenagos' ultimate do?
He is not able to cast that Supreme Verdict unless that is.
He has 2 plans. There's one in the
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I thought that was an island. All right,
Yeah, I did
well,
too. So, okay.
Still has a 2/2
Can't tell
Centaur
with these
coming in.
non-Zendikar basic lands.
Yeah. So, Xenagos is still a reasonable clock. Oh,
What is that?
Boon Satyr.
Satyr. I mean, he does have a Detention Sphere in hand. So, I mean,
He's probably hoping to pay that on Xenagos.
yeah.
And the thing is he's got this interfere in hand, but now it's a 1-turn clock.
Yeah.
So, even if he say he Detention the Boon Satyr, he takes 4 from Xenagos next turn. He's in a tough spot.
Yeah.
And again, he doesn't have a lot of outs. Xenagos is really putting the pressure on. Draws a counter spell, which is insulting.
Basically blank.
This kind of reminds me of how you would board in Koths against the control decks back in the day with Mono Red, where it just like it makes all their source speed removal. You just pressure them with the Koth, and Xenagos is objectively more powerful because the damage actually snowballs.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So of course Koth's ultimate was also really threatening for the control decks.
I think we're seeing that resignation. from
Yes.
Tom.
Just look, checking the hand, just making sure you're not missing
Making sure there's no balance.
anything.
Waiting for the cars to metamorphose.
So
Balance would be very good right now.
it would be just fine. The thing is, balance doesn't kill planeswalkers. So
That's true. He would need.
Show him the hand.
We have. His balance is awesome.
Balance is awesome. And they should reprint it. It's fair.
I think it's totally fair and standard.
Give me balance and wasteland. Let's play some Magic.
That'll be fine.
Just doing some math.
We
You
should
block
totally get
here.
some,
You take 4. So he can live another turn. You can live another turn if he blocks with the Mutavault. But I don't know
Even
if there's
at that point, I don't think you
if there's a card you can draw because you're down a land.
Got to use Suga earlier.
I'm gonna guess. Am I right?
I think you were
I
right.
believe so. I saw him play.
Oh, that's
earlier.
amazing. If you were right.
Boom.
It says Kenji Y, so it's
Kenji-
probably Kenji Yasuda.
Kenji
Ooh.
and Shuta Yasuka.
That was a bounce.
Oh man, shoot is awesome.
It might be Shuhei.
You know, it'd be really good right now. Like 5
Oh.
more lands and then a Cyclone Grid.
Yeah.
All in the
Kenji and
same
Tees? What does Tees mean? Tap. I don't know who that
Takuya?
is. Oh, is he the guy who lost to Kibler?
That sounds right. Yeah,
That's a long list.
Yeah.
There's a
And that's
Guys,
it.
you've
That's
seen
game.
enough.
Xenagos, I'm going to credit with that victory. Xenagos was really impressive there. I mean, Boonsader was fine, et cetera, but Xenagos was really the pressure that was no easy answer to. You know,
Right.
it was just dudes. It would have Wrath of God would have been a live draw, but Xenagos just kept the pressure on.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that's good enough for Kyle to make second, depending on his tiebreakers, I think. Or is he locked?
No, I think he's solid for second
Because
because the guy playing for
Is
second
is 3-1-1,
Yeah.
and Kyle is 4-1.
yeah.
Right.
So he
he's
should
solid for
be
second.
Second, yeah.
he should be second. If there's other 4-1s, you should have the highest tiebreakers of all
And
4-1s.
we are still having that deck name contest. We'll see if Kyle McDaniels or Tom B can take the
Can
take the
dethrone.
cake.
What did we already see their name?
No, we know what Kyle's is.
Yeah, I think Kyle's is winning so far. If Tom just wrote like blue white control, then
And-
it's pretty much a wash.
So that was our tournament tonight. We're gonna still do a little wrap up here, but we saw Blue White Devote or Mono Blue Devotion take first place.
Yes.
We saw Kyle McDaniel's Zerton Ancient Clan Defiance deck take second place. And we don't know what the rest of the top is going to look like, but $71 to Chris Stipp playing Mono Blue Devotion, $40 odd to Kyle McDaniel playing Zerton Ancient deck with Xenagos aplenty.
Yes.
We saw in 5 rounds, we saw Kyle twice,
Right.
and we saw Blue White Control twice. Every other deck was
Besides
weak.
that, yeah.
Yeah, good. It was fun. A lot of interesting matchups. Anyone have a favorite deck they saw besides Zerton Ancient? Which is
The
obviously
burn
this
deck,
year's- The burn deck looked awesome.
Has my
The
interest.
burn deck
Yeah,
is
it was very interesting.
terrible to play against.
Yeah,
It is scary.
we saw it like very easily dome people out from 10.
I took 5 damage followed by 6 damage followed by 7 damage. And
Yeah.
died.
Yeah, that
I
I
mean-
mean, yeah.
I've got to live the dream in this standard of toiling trouble riding right after a Sphinx's revelation. Let me tell you, it feels really good.
It seems like it would feel real good. So yeah, that's a sweet one. I haven't played it. I'd give it a shot if I have the cards, which I don't. I'm locked into 17 land mono red, which I think is actually really good. So
I'm just gonna start playing this for.
Locked
Didn't
I'm
into
see
sick
a
of
lot
it.
of
Locked into
aggro
that
tonight.
draft deck, huh?
yeah, that good draft deck.
Hi,
And here we are with
It's
our
Joe.
operator
Joe, worst commentator
in the
Plank.
history of commentary
Oh, God.
I'm
plank.
gonna just look. I'm gonna
Joe.
Oh, we got the 7th fur going on in here.
Oh yeah,
Joe offensive plank.
Yep.
So we have we are joined by our director here, Joe Plank, and
Here, I'll,
one of our operators.
We're gonna do the
Chris.
judging. I'll call them out,
All right, we got Joe is going to read off all the deck names.
and
got
we're gonna
tonight.
judge who's the best.
All right,
All right, you guys ready?
we're ready.
Yep.
All right. We had Darren Campo with Burn. You might remember.
We
This
did.
is my vote.
We have Kyle actually has 2 bids in this because
Okay.
he had 2 feature matches. So I
Sure,
don't
that's
know.
fair.
His first one was the Ancient World Defiance.
Yep.
His second one
Making Ryan proud.
Gets my vote immediately.
Bruce Jevons had the very popular white-blue control.
Right?
That's
And there's
got
mind
my
you.
vote.
black-red control.
We also had Tribal Hydras with Nick Bowen. He's
Yep.
force memeing that as hard as he can.
Absolutely.
David Martman played Junk Midrange tonight.
Right? Very descriptive.
Very
If
descriptive.
you like that sort of thing.
Said it'll do something sometime. Miss Cassandra LeDuc, or Maggie, was playing It's a Whale of a Tale. And then
Brandon Davis was on Green Red Devotion. Very creative name.
That's good.
And Tom Bittel is on Blue White Control.
yeah, he
Also extremely creative.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we have Perry Mason on Badass Black.
It has a naughty word in it.
Oh,
It does.
we're gonna get
disqualified.
Some bad comments coming in.
My vote goes for making Ryan proud.
Surprise. What about you, Weasel?
I mean, if it had said making Weasel proud, it would totally have my vote.
Yeah.
But I'm going with the Blue White Control on the Red Black deck.
Yes.
Okay.
How about you,
I get
Miss
vote.
Miss
Okay.
Guest commentator.
guest commentator?
Can I see him again?
Yeah, sure.
No,
We'll come back to her.
We'll come back to her.
Yeah,
Look
you
there.
can just
Here's
come
the
back to
menu.
me.
Mr. Michael Walters.
I'm gonna go with Badass Black.
Badass Black? Ooh, all right.
Oh, Burn's never going to win in Legacy again. So I'm
So
going
you're
to
go- going for Burn.
Yeah.
Right.
How about you, Fritz?
It's a whale of a tail.
Whale of a Tail. Oh, man, we got to.
It is a
Spread.
7-weight song.
All
Oh,
right.
you got to be the tiebreaker.
I don't know what all they were. I'll do.
Oh, got it right there.
Badass Black.
Badass
Yes.
Black.
Black.
Yes.
Badass Black's got it.
Badass Black has it.
I
Whose
didn't
was
know
that?
how many votes.
Perry Mason.
Perry
There
Mason.
you go.
Badass Black, congratulations. You will get our wonderful prize, which is
A high five.
a sealed ET Hero Click figure. We don't know which one it is. We're hoping for ET in the wig or ET in the hamper with the sheet wrapped around
Yeah.
it.
It's a free
There's also a
upload.
ghost one, so there's.
There's all kinds of great ones it could
Oh,
be.
yeah.
We're
And
very
then a deck
excited.
box that has some kind of fairy on it. I think Latchkey.
It could be, yeah, we don't know what it is, but it's
Uda's
sweet.
Prowler.
He
It
also
was-
gets a free month of DMT Premium.
So thank you for joining us, everybody. Once again, we've been Dayton Magic Club. You can check us out, and I wish you would, at DaytonMagicClubwebsite.com, where you can read articles by many of the people you saw on camera today, as well as other people who weren't here tonight. We talk about a lot about the local Magic scene, what it takes to be competitive in the local Magic scene, and it's our theory that if you play locally, you should read locally. Also, come check us out here at Game Haven in Riverside, Ohio, where you can get more for your games. Signing off tonight, Ryan Johnson.
Zach Weasel.
Jacob Ross.
Mike Walters.
As our regular commentary crew, and we also had a special guest commentator in this last round here
Caitlin Bauer.
here at her first Magic tournament.
I was on Monday.
Okay, second Magic tournament
Yeah.
here at the Game Haven. So thanks for joining us, and be sure to check us out. We won't be here next week. We'll be back the week after that doing commentary again. Thanks a lot.